Hey everyone, it's me Wasabi and welcome back to another review. If I'm being completely honest, the Harpe 2 Ace is a very good mouse, but it's also a very boring one. It is 48 grams, it performs well, tracking is clean, and nothing is actually wrong with it. But it doesn't really do anything more interesting than a GPX or a Viper V3 Pro. So if you're coming from an older mouse and want something reliable from ASUS, honestly speaking, it is the best ASUS ROG mouse that I've ever used. But if you already own a top tier flagship mouse, I don't think this gives you a strong reason to switch. It's safe and it works, and that's either exactly what you want or exactly why you'll skip it. So what is ASUS actually selling here? And by the way, this is the part where brands go crazy with the marketing. So first, you got a Pro refined shape. It's something that should feel familiar, easy to adapt to, and not too ambitious. And secondly, it's 48 grams, so it's chasing the ultra lightweight category. The third thing is the high spec features. So you got the Aimpoint Pro 42K sensor, optical switches, 8K wireless, and the good news is you do not need that old pulling booster dongle. And then you got two new convenience features. First is zone mode, which is a shortcut that toggles between a normal profile and a high performance profile directly from the mouse. And the second thing is Gear Link, which is ASUS web-based software, which is basically one of the best changes that they've made in years. Inside the box, you get the mouse, a quick start guide, USB-C cable, very nice and bendy, dongle adapter, ASUS ROG stickers, spare skates, and a set of grip tape, warranty booklet, and an instruction manual. And that's pretty much all that's included inside the box. My first impression of this mouse is that it's very light for its form factor, but it doesn't feel hollow, and the balance feels intentional. Design-wise, visually to me, it looks rather plain. It's not ugly, it's just very safe. Honestly, this one gives me plain loaf of bread energy, if you know what I mean. But on the positive note, the RGB scroll wheel adds a little bit of personality here. The good news is the build quality. For 48 grams, the shell rigidity is excellent. There's no obvious flex with a normal grip, and the bio-based nylon shell feels more solid than you'd expect at this weight. You know, if nobody told me this was an ABS, I'd probably never guess. The coating here is matte and the grip is good even with sweaty hands. And don't forget, you got a set of grip tapes in the box if you need more grip. The stock PTFE skates are smooth and predictable. It's not ultra fast but easy to adjust to for most people, which is exactly what they are going for. In my opinion, these skates feel very similar to the ones used on the Razer Viper V3 Pro and the Dev Adder V4 Pro. And to me, it feels perfectly fine to use on both cloth and glass mouse pads. Now, before I get into more detail with the shape and how it feels from my experience, to put things into perspective, my hand size is 17.5 by 9. Shape-wise, this is a medium symmetrical mouse. It's recommended mainly for the claw or fingertip grip style, but if you're a palm grip user, it's still possible, especially if you've got smaller hands. It is actually quite comfortable and supportive for the palm grip, just that it's not the main target grip style of this mouse. For what stands out with the ergonomics, the hump leans a little backward, which makes it feel more supportive for the claw grip. The sides aren't aggressive and it's easy to reposition. And if you used the Viper V3 Pro before, this sits in that lane. So this one's got similar proportions but feels a little less locked in, meaning it's easier to adjust your grip mid-fight, and overall it feels pretty neutral. This is a very safe shape that's generally fine for long sessions. Now here's a quick sound test to give you a better idea of how this mouse sounds. The main clicks are crisp with low pre-travel, and they reset fast so spam clicking feels easy. And there is also a bit of post-travel, but overall, honestly, the clicks don't sound special. If I had to describe it, it's like a lighter, cleaner optical click that is similar to Razer optical switches. It does feel consistent, but it's nothing memorable. But anyway, if you like buttons that feel like they reset quickly and are consistent, I think that you'll be pretty happy. And if you want a click experience with satisfying satisfying sound and character, this one doesn't really deliver on those points. And then the side buttons are excellent. They remind me a lot of the Viper V3 Pro side buttons, which is a compliment. They are very well fitted in, you got great tactility and feedback, and to me they feel really good to use in game. Then for the scroll wheel, the steps are defined with a slightly dampened feel, which makes rapid scrolling feel smoother. And the amount of force you need to click on the scroll wheel is good for a gaming mouse. It's not too soft and not too hard. You really shouldn't find yourself accidentally clicking on it mid-fight. Now this mouse has tri-mode connectivity. So you got 2.4 GHz wireless up to 8K polling rate, Bluetooth 5.1, and you can use it wired with up to 8K polling rate as well. Bluetooth is kind of rare to see for a flagship esports mouse. So if you want a mouse that you can use for both gaming on your PC and perhaps take it to work and use it with Bluetooth connectivity, then this mouse has more flexibility than its main competitors. The battery life is pretty strong with about 110 hours at 1K polling rate with the scroll lighting off, but at 8K polling rate you can expect about 15 hours. The difference is pretty significant, so 8K is kind of a use it when you feel like it mode and not something that you would set and forget. Most people are fine with 1K or 2K polling rates, but give 8K a try for sure and see if it works well for you in game. You also have the ROG Aimpoint Pro sensor. The performance for me has been clean on both cloth and glass. No spinouts, no weird tracking, and it's been very fast and responsive. And then you got the software, which is a great step forward for ASUS. This one here is called GearLink, and it is a web-based software instead of Armory Crate. My experience using this has been good. I like that the interface is simple and straightforward. You've got keybinds, polling rate, motion sync, angle tuning, and power saving settings across different tabs, and you can configure the zone mode settings here too. Alright, this is the part that actually matters to a lot of gamers the most. For track-heavy games like the finals, the Harpe 2 Ace feels stable and controlled. I would say it's pretty average neutral. It's nothing bad, it's just that I don't feel like the shape is giving you any advantage for track dynamics in game. For tech FPS like Valorant, this is where I personally had the best experience from this mouse. Flicks feel planted and very predictable, and it feels very quick to recover after a flick. It really is that safe shape plus low weight combo that gives you a lot of confidence when handling the mouse. And for micro adjustments, it feels fine. Again, I would say very neutral. The mouse is easy to correct, easy to reposition, but it's not the kind of shape that makes micro adjustments feel locked in the way some more aggressive shapes do. And when it comes to fatigue, this mouse is generally quite comfortable to use for long hours. And 48 grams for the size is really nice if you want to use this mouse all day. If I had to summarize it, for tactical FPS, I felt more accurate and in control, whereas for tracking heavy games, it's totally usable and stable. It's just that I didn't feel anything special. This is a mouse that rewards stability first and agility second. It's fast because it's light, but the shape is really more about being predictable and stable than being agile. So like I said earlier in the video, it is a very good mouse, but a very boring one for me. It is lightweight and performs well, and again, there is nothing really wrong with it. Click feel is consistent, it's just not very satisfying, and this is a good upgrade from older mice, just a lot less compelling as a side grade if you already own a recent flagship release. In fact, most mice are super good today, which means brands should put in the effort to make something truly outstanding. But unfortunately, this one doesn't do anything more interesting than a GPX Superlights 2 or a Viper V3 Pro. The size to weight ratio does feel very good, it's just not enough to be a deal maker, and unfortunately, this mouse just doesn't give you much of a reason to remember it. It is a good mouse, it's just that looking at what's available today and what's coming up next, people are just gonna forget this even exists. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, please leave a like and subscribe to support my channel, and I guess I'll see you in the next one.